Welcome back. In the previous part, we had some fun with a stereoscope. Sorry, I've just been thrown off by her hat. It's like, what is with the buttons? It doesn't look like another set of eyes. It's just very off-putting now, I've noticed that. But we need to converse with Gina here, who showed up at the end of the previous part. So, pawnbroker's customer. Somehow, I didn't really think you were the sort of person who'd use a pawnbroker, Miss Lestrade. Yeah, well I am, alright? I'm a Londoner, just like everyone else. Is that a problem, is it? No, not at all. It's just that... well, oh, I get it. I know what you're thinking. That thing probably don't even belong to her. Probably got it on the dive, didn't she? Yeah, I can see it written all over your Chevy Chase. Like, I don't think Chevy Chase as a phrase can work at this period in time. I mean, it is rhyming slang, that is true, but back then? Well, I might have been thinking something along those lines. You're not going to deny it, Mr. Naruhodo. Alright then. I'm just going to come out and ask you straight. Do you pawn things that you steal from other people? Well, I don't know how best to answer that really. Yes might be the answer? Suppose. Sometimes. You're not going to deny it either, Miss Lestrade. But not this time, alright? I swear. That thing belongs to me. The disc that Mr. Windibank is holding. Perhaps we should see what he has to say about all this. Alright then. I didn't expect that to be over so quickly. Very Sholmes at the moment. Oh no. Miss Lestrade's disc. Mr. Windibank, what exactly is this metal disc that Miss Lestrade has brought in? It seems to have hundreds of tiny little bumps on its surface. Ah, this is a music disc, you see. For use inside a music box. In a music box. What, you don't even know what a music box is? Tch, you Eastern lot ain't too savvy, eh? I know what a music box is. Just never seen one of these discs before. The small protrusions on the metal disc encode the tune to be played by the music box. You simply insert the disc and set the machine going, and beautiful music plays. It's so incredible. Tell us, what tune is on this disc? Well, I'm afraid I couldn't tell you that. There are so many different types of music box, you see? British made, German, Swiss. I have no way of knowing which particular machine this disc was made for. I see. And that's it in a nutshell. I wouldn't have any customers for an item like this, even if the young lady forfeited it. Really, I'm already offering more than I should at a penny. That's a packet of lies. He told me he did. He said it was... well... He? Who? Never you mind. Just ain't right, that's all. That disc's worth good money, I know it is. Well then, you'll have to try your luck at another pawnbroker's, won't you? Gina Lestrade. She's been in before, and of course, this little... Tantamillion? I see. And brought some dubious article or other with her every single time, I might add. Dubious? What are you trying to say? I'm an honest customer, me. So, is there something dubious about the disc she brought in today? Well, only it were that simple. Sorry? What do you mean? What she actually brought in was a storage ticket. A storage ticket, so... Miss Lestrade has actually come to redeem an article from you today, is that right? Yeah, that's right. Girl like me has a lot of stuff what needs storing. Alright, yes, that's definitely dubious. The article in question would have been forfeited at midnight tonight. But as she gave me the ticket for it and repaid both the loan and the interest, I was obliged to return the article to her. But what was the article? Do tell us, Mr. Windibank. The little scamp is wearing it, ma'am. It's the overcoat that she redeemed. Oh. What? What's wrong with that? Fits, don't it? I mean, it's mine, so of course it does. So, what about the disc then? How does that come into all of this? Ah, the disc is something else. A new article to pawn if the girl and I can agree a price. New article to pawn? I'm confused. Well, you said that Miss Lestrade brought in a storage ticket today. You can do both, come on. It's really quite simple. Yes, the child brought me a storage ticket and the money owed on it, as you say. But this heavy black coat which you returned to her, care as I understood it. That's right, yes. And rather unsurprisingly, as soon as the little ragamuffin put the thing on, she went rifling through the pockets. Oh, you mean that's where the disc came from, got it. What? You know it's rude to stare at a lady. I see. So it came from the pocket of the overcoat, did it? If you mean this disc, then yes, exactly, ma'am. And she immediately tried to pawn it. For quite a high price as well. So rather suspicious, I think. Give it up. Just trying to pawn something like anyone else would. Miss Lestrade, may I ask who deposited the overcoat here in the first place? Well, me. It doesn't really appear to be your size. Me old man. It's me old man's, ain't it? Is it, Miss Lestrade? Yes, this is definitely rather suspicious. So who did you steal the ticket from? Out of my way, please! Oh. Who's this picture postcard English gentleman? Well, he's not a proper English gentleman. He's got his bottom button done up. If you were a proper gentleman, you'd have that undone, sir. It's tradition here. A good day to you, ladies, gentlemen. What's your problem, eh? There is no problem, as long as you remove yourself. I have a matter to discuss with the proprietor. And if you intend to make a problem of it, I shall see you outside, little girl. But the hiding you deserve. Look, ain't it obvious? I ain't done talking with him yet. You think you're such a gent, you should know how to wait in line. Yes, as proper British culture is to wait in a queue. Well, you are an impudent little brat, aren't you? As well as a pickpocket. Eh? Who are you? How do you know who I am? The question is, how do you not know who I am? You haven't the courtesy even to remember the faces of your victims, it seems. What? You mean from you? Broker? Yes, sir? I believe this filthy pocket thief has just redeemed an article from you, no? Yes, the article in question belongs to me. I demand for it to be returned at once. Oh my. No, that's a lie. What are you trying to pull? Give me back my overcoat, you wastrel. Wastrel? And needless to say, any music box discs too. What is with that pose? No, you can't have it. You just can't. It's me old man's. Or it was, now it's mine. Goodness, Mr. Naruhodo. This is a very awkward situation. Yes. I think perhaps we should hear both sides of the story in a little more detail. Let's converse with Gina and your gentleman's accusation. Miss Lestrade, is what the gentleman is saying... What do you think? It's all lies, ain't it, obviously? I swear on my life. I ain't never laid eyes on that dandy before. Let's hear it now, you little ragamuffin. You stole it, didn't you? That ticket you brought in here just now. No, I swear it. Swear to God. It was barely an hour ago. I was walking along the street, minding my own business, when this little gutterling ran into me. I knew at once what had happened. I've been robbed yet again, I thought to myself. Those wretched pickpockets. Yet again? Oh yes, as you can see, I am a man of impeccable style. This isn't the first time that I've been targeted by these back-slum scoundrels. Now then, relinquish my overcoat. Come along now, Miss Lestrade. Give the good gentleman his coat back. If you're going to cause trouble, I shall have no choice but to call the police. Hold on. Why does everyone think it's me? Just look at this dandy cove. And you think I'm the dodgy one? I'm sorry, but no one's going to believe you. Well, what about evidence? Yeah. Where's your evidence that I've stolen something, eh? Come on, let's see it. Oh, I have evidence, naturally. You what? Evidence? What evidence could he have? Evidence that the article Miss Lestrade redeemed actually belongs to this gentleman. Probably his name? Somewhere inside it, I'd imagine. Of course, you need only consult Mr. Windibank's ledger to know the truth. Oh yeah, forgot about that. I'm able to look up the name of the person who deposited the article in the first place. Yes, brilliant. I'm very sorry, but I'm afraid that won't be possible. Why? Oh. I never ask customers' names. That's a strict policy of mine. But then how do you make sure the right person gets it back? That's something I've been wondering this entire time, like, how could you make such a mistake? But why not? Well now, as you can imagine, some of my customers have circumstances to consider. Yeah, but you keep that confidential. Okay, many of them prefer to maintain their anonymity. Yes, I see. But then, how can you know if the article belongs to the person asking to redeem it? Oh, it's quite simple. Good sir, might I trouble you for the watchword associated with the article in question? Ah. Of course. It's... Professor. Yes, that's right. And all the evidence we need. The gentleman is the rightful owner of the article, without doubt. A watchword, interesting. It's a good way of getting around it. Watchwords. So, about these watchwords, Mr. Windibank. As I just explained, I never ask customers' names when they deposit items with me. There are many reasons why. Certain customers would like to keep their activities secret. What is he doing? Wasn't exactly a subtle glance at Mr. Sholmes now, was it? Great detectives have no dark secrets, not at all. Yes, well... Anyway, that's why I always ask for a watchword whenever I accept a new article. In many ways, it's like the secret combination of numbers used to unlock a vault. The date of deposit, a description and a watchword uniquely identify each item. And of course, then I give the storage ticket for the customer. When someone comes to redeem something, I ask for the ticket and the watchword. If that someone tells you the correct watchword, you return the article. That's right, sir. Yes, just as soon as the requisite fee is paid. I have supplied you with the information you require already, but for the avoidance of doubt, the article in question is an overcoat deposited 2 months ago on 15th of February. The watchword of Professor. All perfectly correct information, sir. But how? Really, this is beyond a joke now. There's no further room for doubt. Okay. Like, why is she still trying to argue that... He's gone. Argue that it is hers at this point. That's the bit that's making me like, Picture postcard gentleman. Excuse me, but who are you? One would expect the inquirer to introduce himself first. Though clearly you are not British, so perhaps our ways are foreign to you. Oh, sorry, yes, sir. We're from the Empire of Japan. We're studying here. Oh, yes, Japan. I've heard talk of the place. What the hell are you doing? Its inhabitants live on some fiery brown-coloured soup dressed up with exotic spices. You might be thinking of somewhere else. What was that theatrical gesticulation about? Perhaps. Anyway, if you are a gentleman, sir, you offer your own name first before inquiring after the name of another. Of course, yes. I'm Ryu Naruhodo. I'm a lawyer. Well, a student of law, really. My name is Susato Mikotaba. I am Mr. Naruhodo's assistant. I see. My name is Benedict. Yes, Egret. Oh, I think it won't be Egret. Musée is jumping into my head. Egret Benedict. Enchanté. He's so refined in how he holds himself, how he speaks, but the name is suspicious. Now, to the matter at hand. My overcoat. Return it at once to someone with the style to carry it off. Every move he makes, every breath he takes. Can't stand watching him. So, let that be an end to the matter. And thank you for your custom, Mr. Egert Benedict, sir. With such reasonable rates of interest, I may even decide to come back. This is why I hate grown-ups. Just because I'm a diver, everyone thinks that makes me a liar. I mean, you were lying, right? And the contents of the coat pockets, if you please, broker. But of course, sir. Here's the disc for you. Just this one? Pardon, sir? I was expecting another, that is, I deposited another. Another disc? Oh dear. I regret to inform you, sir, that what was deposited with me was merely the overcoat. The disc happened to be in one of the pockets, but I was completely unaware of it until now. So, Gutterling, you're hiding more of what's rightfully mine, are you? Say so, eh? I don't know nothing about it. Very well. And I shall bid you farewell. Say goodbye to style. Wait a minute. That disc is mine. What do you think you're doing, you little tramp? You've drawn blood, you filthy animal. Oh my, yes. There's blood on the disc. Because of all those sharp little bumps. That man must have scratched his finger on them. I found it first, right? I mean, it belonged to me old man. So you're not having it. Or you take it. Me? I hang on to it, and have it off me again. So you keep hold of it. Mr. Lestrade, why is she so adamant? That's like the, nature of this. Why is this disc so important to her? Music box disc has been entered into the court record. Metal disc used to play music in a mechanical musical box. A piece of music, which remains unidentified, is stored on the disc by means of small protrusions. Who there? In the black livery. Or livery. Hand that disc to me at once, please. No, don't. He's lying. Grown-ups are all liars. What do I do now? How am I going to resolve this? Because it is like... Yeah, it's like he deposited the overcoat, but there was no mention of the disc beforehand, so it's like the disc could still be hers. It's like, Look at Mr. Windibank watching diligently over this shop. There are still so many things I'm curious about. Somehow I don't really feel like this is the right time to be browsing. Calming this fraught situation must be our first priority. I'm fairly certain that we can find just the great thing we need among the articles here in this shop. Oh, you mean to play it? That's what you mean. Look at those piercing eyes. He's clearly in no mood to talk. We have to do something quickly before the mysterious gentleman leaves to fetch the police or something. Speak to Sholmes. Mr. Sholmes? What are you examining with such keen interest there? As you enjoy a bar of caramel, I see. Or is he down again? So, you found me at last, Mr. Naruhodo. Sorry? After that young pickpocket sent me on my way, I was forced to lurk in the shadows. Truly ostracized, as the rest of you partook in the jovial atmosphere of fellowship. I had nothing to occupy my mind, but was too ashamed to let society see what my downfall had done to me. So feign mock interest, I pretended to examine the tedious trinkets in this desolate place. Whilst, as you shrewdly observed, gnawing on the only friend I have left, this 7% solution of caramel. Pray, do you claim to understand the depths of my despair, Mr. Naruhodo? But how could you? I was so lonely, so desperately lonely. Then why on earth didn't you rejoin the conversation? Things have gone from bad to worse here, you know. Yes, I overheard much of your conversation. Or rather, I am craving for human contact. My ears devoured every word that was uttered. You really were sad, weren't you? Poor Mr. Sholmes. I feel simply awful for you. It would seem that my inferences are correct. Oh, surely you're not about to tell us that you've solved the entire case once again. My dear madam, sometimes I wonder, were my genius for deduction to be commoditized, how much could I pawn it for? It seems Mr. Sholmes has had another of his flashes of inspiration. But who knows if it will help to resolve the situation between Miss Lestrade and the mysterious gentleman. What's the right thing to do here? I'll leave it for now. I don't know. Mr. Sholmes starts one of his wild, rambling deductions now. It could just fan the flames of this argument. I think it would be sensible to try something else. Mr. Naruhodo, what are you saying? The great detective has made one of his deductions. Great deductions. He's sure to cut straight to the heart of the matter. That's what I'm worried about. We don't need any more cuts around here. Dear me, you seem decidedly agitated. Clearly, I shall have to take the reins. Yes, please do, Mr. Sholmes. No, I was going to investigate a few more things before we did this. No. Looks like we're going to hear this deduction, whether I like it or not. I mean, I can still investigate one of the things I wanted to look at. It's like, is there anything written? Yeah. Let's say, like, what McGill did. Oh, there's little scraps of paper stuck onto the reverse side of the disc, look. And a scribbled word or two. Looks like somebody's name. McGill did. McGill did? It couldn't be. But it is, Mr. Naruhodo. A name I shall never forget for as long as I live. But why? Why is his name on this? Music Box Disc's information has been updated in the court record. Yeah. Look at that all the little bumps on the disc, they're so tiny. Yes, the Patricia circle pins, and They plucked the teeth with the comb to make notes, yet they look rounded, not sharp. And just on the edge, there's a small amount of blood. Yes, the blood of the mysterious Mr. Benedict. When Mr. Lestrade tried to grab the disc from him, the pins scratched his fingers, it seems. Like when you're grating some daikon radish, accidentally catch your finger. Ouch, just thinking about it hurts. Puts me off eating radish. Oh no, they are very sharp, you can see that now. Nothing else in terms of... Nope, okay, well we got a bit more of a clue what's going on there. Well, Miss Lestrade, it would appear you find yourself in something of a predicament. Where the blue blazes have you been, eh? Pardon? The lady's in trouble. It's you gents supposed to be here to help. Straight away. Oh, he's gone. Not an hour later. Harsh. And who, pray tell, are you? Mr. Benedict. You have in my eyes a veritably encyclopedic array of curiosities about your person. Nevertheless, there are two immovable conclusions I have drawn. I beg your pardon? The first is this. The true reason for your visit to the pawnbroker today is something you have not yet revealed. And the second is this. A considerable crime is in contemplation. One you will orchestrate with intent to steal a vast sum of money. Well, Mr. Benedict, what say you to my deductions? How? He's turned as white as a hard-boiled egg. Wait a minute. Like that's relevant. It would seem that once again, Mr. Sholmes has made a flawless deduction. Just who do you think you are, sir? Ah, yes, as I hoped. That is precisely the pained expression I was looking for. So, shall we begin? The time has come, Here's another of Herlock Sholmes's logic and reasoning spectacular. Great deduction. The game is afoot. Mystery man's aim. First of all, we must ask ourselves on what business you ventured to this pawnbroker today. You claim to have followed this pickpocket here, having had the redemption ticket stolen from you on the street. But that is most certainly a lie. The real truth is something quite different. As revealed by that which you hold in your hand. Yes, what brought you to this shop in the first place is the staff recruitment flyer. The piece of paper in your hands is a staff wanted advertisement from this very shop. Yet even the most unobservant would soon realize that a man of your appearance has no need of such employ. In other words, there is some ulterior motive for your actions. The cane, which you unwittingly clutched to your person, exhibits an incontrovertible contradiction. A.G. What utter rot! I've had this cane for years. The contradiction of which I speak is, of course, the missing ferrule. The end of a walking cane would be terminated with a metal ferrule to protect the wooden tip. And yet, detailed analysis shows the wooden tip of the stick to be utterly bare. Therefore, there is only one conclusion. The rod that you hold in your hand, which appears to be a walking cane, is in fact no cane at all. It's very obvious and in your face what's actually going on there. Your recall, sir, is something wrong? And in your recoiling, you inadvertently facilitated the answer of the next conundrum to present itself. Namely, what is the truth behind this rod you bear? Yes, Your reaction betrays the truth. The handle, which you evidently would like to conceal, is the key to understanding this riddle, you see. From the moment I saw it, my suspicions were aroused. What walking cane demands such a stout handle? Mused I. He's so close. But of course, as I said, this is no walking cane. No, that rod. Is the broken handle of a shovel. What? Are you insane? And now, having determined the undeniable truth, the conclusion is clear. Your true motive for coming here was to take employment at this establishment in order to excavate the ground beneath the premises. What a calculated crime you have conceived, sir. A wickedly calculated crime. What? To tunnel underneath the pawnbrokery. Whole thing is that, mate. Topic 2. Great crime. Now, Mr. Benedict, let us continue. For we must expose the details of this elaborate crime you have in the planning. This is utterly absurd. You suggest that I, a gentleman, intended to excavate the ground beneath this pawnbroker with a broken shovel? What on earth do you propose I would expect to find there? Some long-forgotten treasure, I suppose? Save for such a fanciful theory, what possible reason could I have to do as you say? Oh, but there is ample reason. As you are only too well aware, Mr. Benedict. And your furtive glance is more telling than I would have hoped. What? Let us consider what would motivate a man to infiltrate a shop such as this and covertly dig beneath its floor. The answer is revealed by the council notice on the counter, but your eyes were inadvertently drawn, and I think it's going somewhere else. The letter gives notice of public works to be carried out in the local area. And according to the enclosed plan of the upcoming sewage works, beneath the shop runs a sewer that adjoins another, one that runs under the bank on the opposite side of the road. This madness has entered the sewers now, has it? By excavating the ground beneath our feet, you would gain access to the waterway that flows in very close proximity to the great vault of the financial institution opposite. What are you? In summary, sir, you devised a master plan to pull off an elaborate bank robbery by dint of the underground tunnels. Master plan? Which brings us at last to the final chapter of this lurid scheme. With what plunder did the thief hope to make off from the underground vault of the bank? You're quite serious. Having consulted with Scotland Yard some days ago, I happen to know the answer. But naturally, the answer is no secret to you, is it, Mr. Benedict? I have no idea what you're talking about. Allow me to present a rather interesting piece of evidence. You see, this picture postcard tells us all we need to know. Postcard of the Great Exhibition. I'm afraid you've quite lost me. Currently in the final stages of preparation, the Great Exhibition will soon be underway, and the government has provided extra funds to complete its centerpiece, the Crystal Tower. Funds that currently sit in the vault of the bank, on the other side of this road. Pardon? Yes, the considerable crime you have been contemplating is the theft of that which sits in the vault of the bank, the special reserve funds for the Great Exhibition. Of course, that is top secret police information, so keep it under your hat, please. I mean, it's a good theory. Some very obvious flaws in this. Thus concludes Herlock Sholmes' great deduction of this pawnbroking puzzle.